So two movies I watched recently are The Life of Chuck and Bring Her Back. Let's talk about them. First, let's talk about Bring Her Back. Now, Bring Her Back is a film that I was kind of curious about, but also not overly excited for.
What are you doing?
Supposed to report how safe and reliable you are. So stay safe, stay reliable, yeah?
Talk to Me was the Philippou brothers' first film, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was mind-blowing or anything, but it was a good horror movie. I admired the practical effects. I thought that the scares were really good. I thought that the atmosphere was great. The performances were great. The one thing I had with it was that I don't think it made a whole lot of sense, personally. Because at the end of the day, this is a story about a group of young kids or young people that have found an embalmed hand that can summon ghosts. And not once did anyone question that. I like logic in my films. I like things to be quite grounded. Maybe I don't like things that are too nonsensical. And to me, Talk to Me was just a little bit too nonsensical. I found that no one questioned the embalmed hand. Everyone was like, oh yeah, man, we got this hand and we can talk to ghosts. And everyone's just like, cool, let's see what that's like. And I was just like, and also, I don't mind a little bit of ambiguity in film, but I also like it when there's a little bit of backstory, a little bit of lore established. And I don't feel like Talk to Me really went into much of the backstory, again, about where this hand comes from, or whose it is, or why it can talk to ghosts, how they discovered that it can do that, and why everyone is so casual about it. But also, I might just be remembering this wrong. Maybe they did go into those things, and I just don't remember. It was a while ago I watched the movie. So, if I'm wrong, do feel free to correct me. I'm open to that. Maybe I should have rewatched it before making this video, but this video is not about Talk to Me, so anyway. And then the Philippou brothers return with Bring Her Back. Bring Her Back is different to Talk to Me, for sure. It's not as focused. I don't think there's more going on. But again, an issue that I had with Bring Her Back, and don't get me wrong, performances were fantastic. Again, all of the things I liked about Talk to Me, I really liked about Bring Her Back. But I think the issue I had with Bring Her Back was that it all started very quick. There wasn't much build-up, I don't think. I think that it was very obvious straight away who the villain was going to be and how that was going to play out. The story is about two kids who lose their father and they've already lost their mother, so they go into the foster care system and then they get put with this woman who is a little bit eccentric, but straight away, very quickly, within the first 10 minutes, it's just like, oh, she's doing something weird. Oh, look at her, she's a bit weird. And I just found that a bit like, I would have preferred if it would have unfolded and if things would have happened more gradually and it would have been revealed that she was, a crazy person. Even if you already knew that was coming, I just think straight away it was just like, oh, look at her, oh. And I was just like... And then when it got to the climactic part of the film, or what I thought would have been the most heightened dramatically, it sort of happened all quite quickly, I found. I found that it was a very quick build-up, and then it sort of stayed here for a while. And then there was a lot of crazy stuff, don't get me wrong. Some great visuals, some great visual horror, and great gore and stuff if you're into that. The horror aspects of Bring Her Back were really, really well done. I cannot fault it in any of the technical departments. But I feel like the film kind of did this, and then stayed here, and then did this, and then stayed here for a while, and then did this, and then just did this. It got to the peak, and then it came down very, very quickly. And also, I've seen a lot of praise targeted at the boy's performance. I've forgotten his name. Oliver was his name? Fantastic performance. Again, he was great, but I also think that I've seen people say that, he wasn't the typical creepy boy in horror. And I was like, yes, he was. At least I think he was. It was the same thing. It's just like, oh, look at that boy. He's a bit weird. It felt like the film was trying to poke at me going like, oh, look, it's scary. Remember, it's a horror movie. And I'm just like, I know! But I mean, yeah, it was good. I can't say that it wasn't a good movie. It was, but for me, it was just a little bit too on the nose a lot of the time. And then the Russian VHS tape sequences where she's, you know, learning to do this ritual that she wants to do, I found that to be a little bit like of a scare tactic, you know, like a cheap one almost, because it's some old VHS, it's rusty. Like, you know, she could have learned this ritual from anywhere. Why are we gonna go with some underground VHS tape that, you know, looks like it's been put in the film just to be shocking? But Bring Her Back did try to go into a more deep place, because the film is about grief. That's the overarching theme. This woman is dealing with the death of her daughter, and she's trying to, well, it's in the title, bring her back, whatever that exactly means. I don't think the film quite reached the emotional depth that it was going for. It did lean into it quite nicely towards the end especially, but I don't know. I didn't feel like it quite got there. So that's part one of this video. If you want to hear my thoughts on the life of Chuck, be sure to come back to this channel next Sunday. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more movie content, movie reviews, indie reviews, and more movie content like this. If you're an indie filmmaker and you want a video like this for your film and some extensive coverage, do get in touch with me at www.outsidethespotlight.com. You can also get in touch with me across any of my social channels, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and also find Outside the Spotlight on Letterboxd. One more thing, I do also do custom movie posters, so if you want one of these for your film, do get in touch with me as well. Oh, I didn't do the snappy clappy intro and outro that I've done before. See you next time. Sorry, the dog is greeting the postman. Just wait for him to finish. She'll be done in a second. Okay.